your colleague, Mr. Hayum. So I think there will be many interesting questions from multiple backgrounds. So I hope everyone can enjoy tonight's session.
Yeah. Let's start now, Bu Kenny and everyone. Yeah, Mr. Hayum. Wait. It's away.
Huh?
Say yes again.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Hayum.
Hi.
Yeah, so we're going to start now. Okay. So
Can you see
I
can you see all this?
will pin.
Banyak.
Okay. Okay. Bu Kenny, you want to start?
All right, yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Zoom preview for the upcoming conference. Before we start our session, I would love to read the verse by Rudolf Steiner. Maybe Bu Ika or someone can share the screen.
For the first book?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let us come to this room and we are going to have a preview. Hope it will be a benefit for everyone here in this virtual room. The well-being of a community of people working together will be the greater, the less the individual claims for himself the proceeds of his work. That is, the more of these proceeds he makes over to his fellow workers, the more his own needs are satisfied, not out of his own work, but out of the work done by the others. Thank you, Ibu Tina. All right. Well, let me introduce myself first. I am Kenny. I am a lecturer at Faculty of Economics, Parahyangan Catholic University, the venue we are going to have the conference. And also, I'm one of the founders and a teacher at Jagat Alit Waldorf Kindergarten. And I'll be your host for this session. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Yeah, can you mute someone who's still? Yeah. Tonight, we will be giving you a glimpse of what to expect in the full conference. We are joined by two inspiring speakers who will share thought-provoking ideas that matter. And now we are pleased to have Gregory Stock and Abdul Hayum with us tonight. They will be joining 𝐻𝐿𝐬𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐬𝐬𝐻 as speakers for the Economic and Business Workshop at our conference next month. And for the first presentation, Gregory Stock will give you a brief of his workshop. And as far as I know, Gregory Stock is an educator in an international institution emphasized on sustainability and holistic education. And also, he wrote an academic thesis on threefold social order. And Abdul Hayum, he is an entrepreneur. He is chairman and board member of Kongsi Corp, a community-owned enterprise in Malaysia that focuses on connecting people, soil, and nature. And without further ado, please welcome Gregory Stock.
Thank you, Ibu Kenny. And I would be happy to defer to Mr. 𝐻𝐬𝐬𝐬 if he prefers to go first. I don't know if you have a preference, Mr. 𝐻𝐬𝐬𝐬, but I'm fine either way. All right, I'll begin, and I've been asked to say just a little bit more about myself before talking about the workshop. I have been a Waldorf educator for many years. For 16 years, I was a teacher at the Honolulu Waldorf School, and my area of teaching is in the high school or secondary education, mostly social studies and literacy classes. I also, in Honolulu, went to the University of Hawaii, where I studied Southeast Asian studies. And my focus was actually in Indonesia and Southeast Asia post-World War II. So that interested me a lot. My wife and I have been coming to Indonesia and frequently Bali for about 25 years. And as teachers in our travels, we just found that we were more and more attracted to Indonesia. So we both played gamelan with 2 orchestras in Honolulu at the University of Hawaii. And we found that we were interested in Balinese philosophy and religion as well. In 2016, I was offered a position at the Green School in Bali, which is similar work to what I was doing at the Honolulu Waldorf School, teaching social studies and literacy. And I will be teaching there for 1 more year. Full disclosure, I'm 59 years old, and as many of you know, in Indonesia, at 60, I'm able to retire. But happily, I have been working with the developing Waldorf School here in Ubud, which is the town where I live in Bali. And I will continue working with them, helping to develop their middle school and high school, because their students are now entering 7th grade next year. So that's a little bit about my background, but it was in my late 20s when I met Waldorf education and Rudolf Steiner. And I've always been interested in social questions. I knew I wanted to be a social studies teacher, but I have to say Steiner gave me new insights into what it means to be a human being. Who is the human being? Some of you have a background in anthroposophy, or all of you are here probably because you have some interest in that picture. And that's been very helpful as an educator. First and foremost, I think we recognize that we come from spiritual origins. And what does that mean, and how can we work with that? And we can also approach, Steiner has helped me approach social questions with some new pictures or ways of looking at the social sphere. So in my presentation, I would like to do a quick review of the threefold human being and how that can be a way for us to enter into understanding the threefold social organism. I like to use the word organism more than order. Order to me in English sounds like someone is dictating orders, whereas an organism is something organic. It's a process that we can observe, and it's dynamic, and we can help shape it. So we can also call it social threefolding. But a little bit of context about social threefolding. It was just over 100 years ago, at the end of World War I, when Europe was in shambles, and Steiner introduced this picture of the threefold social organism. And he suggested that humanity really needed to begin looking at the social sphere in this way, to have this context, and that it was an urgent, evident need of our times if we were to avoid further wars and catastrophes. And sadly, his work was not taken up by the mainstream, and we know that World War II happened shortly after. Something I'd like to point out tonight too, and I'll point it out in my presentation. We will be in Bandung here in 2025. And in my studies, I was very interested and inspired by the 1955 Bandung Conference, where Sukarno gave some inspired words, and he worked with many leaders from Asia and Africa, spelling out the wish socially for social harmony, for self-determination, for sovereignty, equality, non-aggression. Many of these new nations that were shaking off colonialism were wanting to remain free and not necessarily aligning with socialism or capitalism or any ism. And but Sukarno articulated in his opening speech 70 years ago that colonialism was still alive and well in 1955, that we should not be fooled. And those of you who know Indonesian history know that 10 years later, my country, the US, did remain involved as neo-colonially. And unfortunately, just like World War II, the 20th century saw a lot of social unrest, saw a lot of warfare. We have some immense problems in the world. And even today, the colonialism perhaps has new forms that go beyond nations. Perhaps our thinking might be colonized in some ways. So this evident, urgent need to begin to understand the social realm from a new perspective that's the journey I'd like to take with you. I'd like to tell you that it's inspired me. And I do want to share one other thing I'll talk about, because I think it's an inroad to understanding social threefolding. Here in Bali, over 1,000 years ago, there was a conference near where I'm sitting now. It was at a temple called Pura Samawan Tiga. And it's where the philosophy of Trihita Karana, which can be translated, many of you know, as threefold peaceful cause. But it's something that's still very much alive in Bali today, a striving to balance our relationship with the spirit world, with each other, with the social realm, human to human, and with nature. And I think that very much aligns with Steiner's picture too. It's not exactly, it's an inroad to help us understand social threefolding, threefold balance. And yes, so I think for tonight, I won't get into the specifics of the social sphere, talking about, well, we could say there's a rights sphere, there is an economic sphere, where associative economics is the approach that Steiner promoted as well, and is living in beautiful ways all around the world. And then cultural or spiritual life. And so each of those has their own guiding principle. And I think what I'd like to say to end is that, first off, this is not such an easy, it takes some time to live into the threefold social organism. I think what I'll plan to do at the conference with each 90-minute presentation is to present for maybe 25 to 30 minutes, but then in small groups, we will practice some exercises and do small group discussions where the groups can report back. I think judging by my high school students, most of them prefer not to listen to me talk too long. So it's important that you hear from each other and gauge your understanding. But if that's okay, I think I've already gone on about 10 minutes or a little more, so I'd be happy to take questions now or later, but I think that's all I have to say about my presentation.
Ibu bisa nggak bikin kebaya tapi dari rajut?
Okay, Thank you very much, Greg. And I will try to give a resume to the participants here in bahasa. Oke, ya tadi Greg memperkenalkan diri dan kemudian Greg juga membagikan pengalamannya, backgroundnya, di mana Greg ini sudah 25 tahun di Bali bersama istrinya, kemudian juga tertarik sekali pada filosofi Bali dan juga religion yang ada di Bali gitu ya. Dan Greg ini mengajar di Green School untuk 1 tahun ke depan. Pada usia 20 akhir, Greg bertemu dengan Waldorf Education dan juga mengenal Rudolf Steiner, di mana bagi Greg, Rudolf Steiner itu memberikan insight baru mengenai human being. Dan juga sangat tertarik ketika ada konsep bahwa kita datang dari spiritual world. Apa artinya itu kita datang dari spiritual world? Dan juga Rudolf Steiner menimbulkan pertanyaan-pertanyaan tentang kondisi sosial gitu. Kemudian Greg juga mengatakan bahwa threefold human being akan juga dipaparkan pada conference nanti, pada workshop nanti, yang mana threefold of human being ini adalah jalan untuk memahami threefold social organism. Greg memilih kata organism dibandingkan threefold social order karena dirasa lebih organik dan dinamik. Lalu juga Greg memaparkan tadi bagaimana beliau tertarik pada Bandung ini sendiri berkaitan dengan konferensi di tahun 1955 ya, konferensi Asia Afrika, di mana pada konferensi itu Soekarno memberikan perkataan-perkataan yang sangat bermakna tentang social harmony, tentang self determination, tentang kesamaan dan sebagainya. Juga tentang kolonialisme, yang mungkin sekarang kolonialisme itu udah nggak ada, tapi mungkin masih ada dalam diri kita. Nah, jadi menurut Greg kita harus mulai memahami social realm, ranah sosial dari perspektif yang baru. Nah, di Bali sendiri ada yang namanya Trihita Kirana yang menyeimbangkan hubungan antara sesama manusia, spiritual dan alam gitu. Sebetulnya hal itu sama atau serupa lah ya dengan yang namanya social threefolding, di mana di dalam social threefolding ada tiga aspek, yaitu ekonomi, sosial, dan cultural, budaya atau spiritual. Dan setiap aspek memiliki prinsipnya masing-masing. Nah, nanti di conference nanti Greg akan memberikan pemaparan selama 25 atau 30 menit, lalu Greg akan mempersilahkan para peserta untuk berdiskusi. Karena dari diskusi itulah akan muncul hal-hal baru yang menginspirasi. Gitu kira-kira.
Waduh, itu hebat. Makasih banyak.
I'll try. I'm very nervous actually.
Wow, terima kasih banyak. Saya mengerti.
Okay, maybe we are going to have questions or right to Hayum first, Ibu Palupi or Ibu Tina?
Bisa Bu ke ya.
After Mr. Hayum, yeah.
Ya.
So, yeah, please welcome Mr. Hayum. Yeah. Would you like to share your thoughts now, Mr. Hayum?
Di unmute Mr. Hayum.
Masih mujarab enggak ya?
Mana aku tahu.
Tapi enak.
You are still mute, Hayum.
Okay, sorry. So, do I start with my topic, or do you want me? Am I supposed to?
maybe short introduction first, and then you can go on to your
Okay.
topic. Yeah.
Okay. Introduction. My name is 𝐴𝐵𝐷𝐼𝐻. I am almost 73 years old. Have been in business. No, sorry. My major from university is accounting. So, but after 4 years of working in the accounting line, when I joined a shipping company, a Japanese shipping company, I put aside all my accounting knowledge and started doing business. And I was lucky. The boss, the Japanese owner, likes me so much, opened all doors for me and give me the opportunity to learn almost every angle of logistic, from forwarding to shipping to warehousing, air freight, so wide spectrum of logistic. And at age almost 30, I became the executive director of the group of the companies, very young age, actually. And after 6 years, I decided to leave the company and set my own business, which is shipping. So my first business was shipping. And then on, I must say I was pretty successful. I became owner of 10 ocean-going ships at the age of 35. But I have got this weakness in me. I must say that after a while, I get bored in whatever I'm doing. So I decided to immerse myself in a new vocation, which is development, for about 10 years. But while I was doing shipping, I actually also bought a piece of land on the beach, which has become my final resting place, I would say. I enjoy doing the tourism business, and I'm not doing it so much for profit, but more for the enjoyment that I derive from running this business. And it was here, while at the resort, that I met Kelly, and she got attracted to the way I'm doing business. We chat, and we found that we had a common goal, and thus 𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻 Cooperative was formed. Okay, so because she was telling me that actually I have been practicing associative economic, but I don't have a proper platform to actually delve in a very serious way, because as an individual, you don't have that much reach. Ultimately, forming 𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻, and through 𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻, I have a platform to actually share my experiences, spread, I call it the gospel, uh, in associative economics. And even at 𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻, what we have always actually stressed on quality over quantity. So what happened is we just actually celebrated our 3rd-year anniversary. And right now we have only about 150 members. But the members is quality members, in the sense that we engage people that like-minded people, and people who doesn't look at profits, more of sharing and caring, and to share the benefit among ourselves as a whole, and not as an individual. Which Kelly told me, hey, actually what you're doing is what Steiner has been advocating, so uh, I didn't know Steiner until I joined 𝐴𝐿𝐶, but I've been reading, and surprisingly, I've been practicing most of the things that he was teaching. So that got me attracted more into 𝐴𝐿𝐶, and hopefully I could be of use to share my experiences positively and be able to contribute to for starters 𝐴𝐿𝐶 at least, and the world at large. But we have to start somewhere in a small way. I mean, maybe my reach would not be so defined as it is now, but as we share and aim for the common goal, hopefully this gospel will grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hayum. It's very interesting when you say that the 𝐴𝐿𝐶 member is not focused on the profit, but more on sharing and caring. That's really interesting since we talk about business. Business is a profit-seeking activities as far as I know.
Yes.
All right. Now, would you like to share your preview that you are going to talk on the conference, maybe more about
Okay.
associative economics?
Yeah. Right here, I think I have here a topic: conventional business dilemma versus anthroposophic approach. So what I'll be talking on is, of course, conventional business, is a rigid system. And to me, it's archaic. I would say it's old-fashioned, whereby it's purely profit motivated, 100% purely profit motivated. And in the old days, people do conventional business, but they are more honest in delivering right products. But conventional business nowadays even resort to cheating, compromising the quality of products, that kind of thing, which doesn't actually how would I say, jive well with all the ideas that we have in 𝐴𝐿𝐶. Conventional business normally is single decision made by the owner, and rightfully, wrongfully, the workers have to just obey whatever the owner say. So, for example, if it's retail, okay, you sell this product, it may be a bit bad or a bit spoiled, but the idea is to, money should be coming in, for example, with multi-layered protocols. Conventional business also rejects ideas by subordinates, where the single decision maker makes all his decision rightfully or wrongfully. No, but it doesn't actually allow cultivation of good things, So sometimes your workers may not be wrong. Sometimes your workers know better than you, So, but in conventional business, it's always the boss is right, Conventional business also are slow in adapting changes, positive changes. Like for example, if I were to introduce 𝐴𝐿𝐶's idea of running, sharing, and caring, it'll just fall on deaf ears. These people don't know how to do business. I mean, business is purely profit motivated. It's not where there's no empathy, I would say. you know uh so that's the dilemma of conventional business versus anthroposophic approach, which is more green, I would say, in the sense that anthroposophy talks about uh sharing whatever benefits that you get, uh like the opening phrase that we read, like, doing things, positive things, without uh trying to shine ourselves so that people recognize us, you know so non-profit, like in the case of Kongsi, we're looking at non-profit motivation in doing business. We are more engaged in actually sharing the load. Oh, hello. Huh? Okay. So that's the comparison between conventional business and dilemma and anthroposophic approach. And then green cooperative and circular economy. Democratically controlled business where members work together to achieve common economic and social and cultural goals, and have ownership and of the business. Okay. And which is what Pongsi is striving on, because that is one of the main pillar that we establish Pongsi Cooperative. We are looking at things which is beyond profit making. In Kongsi, we also try to minimize the big profit that middleman makes, because we are actually, what Kongsi is doing is, for starters, we are actually encouraging the consumption of organic food, where we assist farmers in growing organic vegetables, the making of organic byproduct from the organic materials. And what we do is, we have a platform here where we form Kongsi and engage members which come from different walks of life, and they can be the farmers themselves, they can be the artisan producing organic products. So we get them together, and it's not exactly barter, but what we do is we assist them in marketing their products without making much profit, but more engaging that each and every participant or members complement in their ability to support other Kongsi members. So that way, what happened is, we are building a solidarity economy based on trust through deep relationship among the Kongsi members. I was just talking to one of my staff this morning about organic farmers suddenly having a bumper harvest. So in the past, what happens is the middleman will push down the price and say, "Hey, look, since there's an oversupply, we will buy you at X price, which is maybe 50% of what the farmers normally sell." And so through 𝐴𝐿𝐶, what happened is we will just reach out to the existing 150 members and say, "Hey, look, this organic farmer is having a problem. It's a good problem, but the thing is, they cannot realize the benefit of the good problem because they'll be squeezed by middlemen." So what we do is through 𝐴𝐿𝐶, we just contact all the members, and the members themselves contact their neighbors, their families, and that way, we just sell all of them within 2 days. So this is actually a fantastic system whereby we take care not just of our members, but also the consumers are able to actually benefit from the cheap prices, and at the same time, the farmers don't get their products destroyed, or consumables, they don't last. So it's a win-win situation. But the beautiful part is we are in control of it. We are able to actually benefit from it, and at the same time share with others. So this is one of a fantastic platform that I think 𝐴𝐿𝐶 is using. And so we hope that, of course, we are small now, 150 members, but we hope to actually grow organically as well, because we are not looking at making just the numbers, but we want to have quality members. So we are growing slowly but surely, and hopefully we'll make inroads in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, 𝐻𝐬𝐬. It was very, very interesting to hear you sharing your experience about 𝐴𝐿𝐶. And I will try to resume your talk in bahasa. Oke, jadi tadi 𝐻𝐬𝐬 menceritakan tentang dirinya bahwa dia berusia 73 tahun, kemudian dia kuliah di Universitas jurusan Accounting dan sempat berprofesi sebagai akuntan dan bergabung di perusahaan shipping. Tapi kemudian dia meninggalkan akunting dan bisnis, dan kemudian dia mempelajari lebih lanjut lagi tentang logistik, dan pada usia 30 tahunan beliau sudah menjadi eksekutif direktur. Lalu beliau membuka bisnis sendiri dalam shipping bisnis juga, dan menjadi pemilik 10 perusahaan di usia 35 tahun. Lalu beliau juga membeli tanah di pantai, di pantai, dan beliau membeli tanah itu bukan hanya sekedar untuk berbisnis mencari profit, tapi lebih kepada menikmati hidup lah ya. Dan kemudian beliau bertemu dengan Kelly, mengobrol tentang bisnis, dan ternyata Kelly dengan 𝐻𝐻𝐬𝐬 ini memiliki tujuan yang sama, dan kemudian mereka membentuk 𝐴𝐿𝐶 Co-op dan mempraktekkan asosiatif ekonomi. Dan bukan hanya mempraktekkan saja, tapi juga menyebarkan nilai-nilai asosiatif ekonomik ini. Nah, 𝐴𝐿𝐶 Co-op ini beranggotakan 150 anggota yang merupakan orang-orang yang berkualitas gitu ya. Bukan terutama bahwa value yang dibawa oleh 𝐴𝐿𝐶 Co-op ini adalah berbisnis bukan hanya fokus pada profit, tapi yang terpenting adalah bagaimana bisnis ini bisa menjadi sarana untuk sharing, untuk berbagi, dan untuk caring, untuk peduli terhadap sesama. Itu sebabnya 𝐻𝐻𝐬𝐬 ini semakin tertarik pada kegiatan kongsi bersama Kelly. Kemudian Hayum juga memaparkan tentang sistem perekonomian yang dulu ya, praktek bisnis yang dulu atau praktek bisnis yang mainstream lah ya. Jadi praktek bisnis yang mainstream, yang sistemnya kaku, yang sistemnya itu jadul kalau kita ya ngomongnya jadul, yang mana motivasinya hanya untuk profit, 100% untuk profit. Nah, kalau dulu, zaman dulu, orang-orang berbisnis dengan konsep yang seperti ini, tapi lebih jujur gitu. Tapi kalau sekarang, orang-orang yang berbisnis itu, licik-liciknya tuh banyak. Kompromi terhadap kualitas produk, memproduksi produk yang kualitasnya tidak bisa diandalkan, itu banyak orang-orang yang seperti itu. Dan biasanya konvensional bisnis ini pengambilan keputusan itu hanya dilakukan oleh pemilik bisnis. Jadi si karyawan-karyawannya, si pekerja-pekerjanya harus mematuhi ownernya. Meskipun karyawan-karyawan tersebut mungkin lebih lebih benar gitu daripada ownernya, tapi mau nggak mau si karyawannya ini mesti nurut gitu, mesti mematuhi si ownernya. Kemudian juga konvensional bisnis menolak gagasan subordinate, menolak gagasan bawahan, di mana yaitu tadi single decision maker-nya, pembuat keputusannya hanyalah si pemiliknya. Dan juga tadi Abdul Hayu mengutarakan bahwa konvensional bisnis ini lambat dalam beradaptasi pada perubahan-perubahan yang positif. Karena fokusnya hanya pada profit saja gitu ya. Jadi di mana ada perubahan yang positif, istilahnya konvensional bisnis ini tidak punya empati untuk melakukan perubahan-perubahan yang positif gitu. Dan kemudian Abdul Hayum juga mengatakan bahwa di dalam pendekatan antroposofi itu sangat berbeda dengan konvensional bisnis, di mana di dalam pendekatan antroposofi bicara tentang sharing. Berapapun profit ataupun berapapun benefit yang diperoleh, maka benefit itu bisa dirasakan manfaatnya oleh orang-orang lain. Nah, juga Abdul Hayum juga tadi mengatakan mengenai green cooperative dan juga circular economy, di mana anggota bekerja bersama-sama untuk mencapai tujuan bersama. Nah, itulah yang dilakukan oleh kongsi koop gitu ya, di mana kongsi koop itu mencari sesuatu yang melebihi dari profit, yang maknanya lebih besar dari hanya sekedar profit. Dan di dalam kongsi koop juga terkait dengan green cooperative tadi, yaitu berusaha untuk berbisnis menjual, memproduksi produk-produk yang organik gitu. Jadi di dalam kongsi koop ada petani, ada artisan, mereka bekerja bersama-sama. Jadi yang namanya kalau di konvensional bisnis ada yang namanya middleman, itu dalam jalur distribusi itu adalah yang berada di tengah, yang membeli produk dari para petani, yang biasanya para middleman ini menekan harga terhadap petani sehingga petani itu nggak bisa berkembang. Tapi di dalam kongsi koop, semua anggota kongsi koop ini bekerja sama, kemudian menjalin hubungan dengan keluarga, dengan networking agar terjadi bisnis yang sehat, yang win-win solution, gitu kira-kira. Okay, I just finished. Resume your talk. So, shall we go to the Q&A? The team, would you like to help me to pick the questions that arise in the chat box?
Yes, yes, Bu Kenny, thank you so much. So, Bapak Ibu, now we are gonna have the Q&A session. The first question is from Pak Gatot. Is anthroposophy a philosophical movement or thinking, or is there practical application of it? Bu Kenny, it might be Greg or Pak Hayum who will answer it.
The question again, please.
Yeah. Is anthroposophy a philosophical movement or thinking, or is there practical application of it? Or maybe Pak Gatot, would you like to elaborate more on the question? Or maybe is there an example?
I'd be happy to say something.
Okay, please, Greg.
I think of it as both philosophy and what draws me to this philosophy is the practical application of it in the world. So just like the word philosophy comes from the Greek, it means love of wisdom. Anthroposophy means wisdom of the human being. So it's a picture of the human being as one gets to know it. But what really has kept me involved is that it has practical applications in agriculture with biodynamic farming, in business with things like associative economics, in education with Waldorf schools, Steiner schools. There's anthroposophical medicine. There's curative educational communities working with developmentally delayed children and adults. So there are many practical applications, but all of them have in common at their root a similar picture of the human being. So they stem from the same philosophy, but they are practical. So my answer would be it's both a philosophy and it's grounded in practical work.
Okay, thank you, Greg. And also during the international conference later on the end of July, Greg will share practical tips, yeah, Greg?
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to your question of actually I've not known Steiner until I joined 𝐴𝐿𝐴 actually, and start reading some of his books. And frankly, when we formed 𝐴𝐿𝐴, I was the first Muslim member, and there was fear that this thing that Steiner has been advocating may be misinterpreted as something that is against religion, that keeps away most of the Muslims from joining initially. But the concept is wrong. It so happens that if you were to really look at what our religion, me being a Muslim, should practice, it's just that Steiner is reiterating that as a human being, this is how we should behave. This is what we should practice. And once we get that barrier explained, we started having more Malay members that joined 𝐴𝐿𝐴, So what Steiner is stressing is what all religion preaches, and all of us should be practicing, even if he doesn't come up with his anthroposophic version of style of living. So, well, he's a fantastic guy to sort of refresh our memory that we have lost ourselves in the course of living, in the course of always putting ourselves above everyone else, profiteering from whatever you do, benefiting from whatever you do. And I would call it as a realignment of what we should all be. Thank you.
Okay,
Mute that.
thank you. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. We'll move on to the second question. Bu Kenny, would you please?
The question?
Yeah.
Okay, I will read it, the question. From Pak Taufik, Kementerian UKM. How can early stage businesses, especially in Indonesia, balance profitability with social and ecological responsibility, especially when working within the constraints of limited resources? I think this question is for you, Hayu.
Again, please,
All right.
can you repeat the question?
How can early stage businesses, especially in Indonesia, balance profitability with social and ecological responsibility, especially when working within the constraints of limited resources?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. To begin with, I don't have much experience of business in Indonesia, but I can try to answer this question. Actually, it is tough. It is really tough, but what one should do is actually you have to study what are the resources that you have. Especially in this case, you're talking about limited resources, right? And it's a tough question. I'm not in Indonesia, but if you ask me in the context of uh, Malaysia, then it's easier for me to answer because I do not know what is the economic situation in Indonesia is.
Can you just give an example of how it is going in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, I think the opportunities are much greater to begin with. And in Malaysia, if you are resilient in the sense that if you're hardworking and you keep on going and try your best and put in your best in whatever you believe, the avenue is so vast, you know. Uh, Actually, our economy is a thriving economy, and you'll be surprised that people who engage themselves in their own business rather than working for anyone else, they tend to be, of course, monetarily, they are successful, and if they put in more effort, more hours, you can see the result. Uh, so limited resources, even with limited resources, uh, if you start small and if you're resilient and you have the stamina to push, you will definitely succeed. Maybe not in a big way, but you will make it in life over here. Hmm?
And maybe also with a good networking, we can collaborate with other parties.
Yes, yes. If in the context of Kongsi, for example, uh, most of our members are in the same position as an individual that has asked this question. But this is one of the platform that we are providing for people to be a member. For example, I have also suggested in one of our meetings that okay, members who are let's say good in doing some food artisan or something, they come forward, but they don't have, let's say, 5,000 ringgit to buy a card to sell something. So what we do is we are using Kongsi as a platform. Okay, we get together and help not Kongsi itself, but the members themselves as individual chip in to make it possible for this to happen, for this guy to or lady or guy to start a business on their own. This is one of Kongsi's aspiration actually to assist members in whatever they specialize in. You know, let's say if a member is good in making tempeh, one of Kongsi's, you'll be surprised, one of Kongsi's fast or fantastic selling product is tempeh. So we actually teach people to make organic tempeh in Kongsi until they're perfect, and they can sell because tempeh is organic tempeh is getting to be more and more popular, and so especially housewife to earn an extra income. So we teach them how to make organic tempeh. We teach them how to make what do you call this? Apa yang buat dengan pickle cabbage tu? Hello? Huh? Yeah, we teach them to make organic sauerkraut, and better still, we assist them in marketing it. So the result is fantastic. We also create a market once a week where all our members, or even non-members, artisan who produce organic product, to come forward to our place. We have a headquarters, and we get public to come in to buy. So this is one of the ways we use Kongsi as a platform whereby members can use, or members, you know, it's a channel for members and non-members to make use of our platform positively.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your answer, 𝐻𝐬𝐬. Actually, we have queuing and questions. I will take one question from the chat box, and the questions from Gaby, who raised her hand. But first, from the chat box, from Revi, from in Bandung Institute of Technology, I guess. The question is, how is best to address the farmer's dilemma where globally low yield can bankrupt small farmers, yet to high yield house price crashes when humanity should be gaining more? How to solve this lose-lose situation? I think Revi, can you open your mic and say your questions directly to 𝐻𝐬𝐬, because it's not too clear in the text.
Hello, yes. So there's a
Hello.
situation where yeah, like in the comment, if farmers produce too much, prices crash. But if farmers also produce too little, then they can go bankrupt. And so this is a lose-lose situation, and like how to best solve this dilemma.
Okay, I understand the question. Actually, one of Hongxi's specialty is the question that you just raised. So what we have done is we have invited farmers, small-time farmers, to be members of our Hongxi Cooperative, whereby what we do is we have not reached a stage whereby we subsidize them for the production, but what we do is we go, if they ask for our assistance, we go into their farm, we identify what is their problem. But most farmers, more often than not, come to us and tell us that our main problem is marketing. And you know, as always, the farmers do all the job, but they do 99% of the job, and it's always the middleman that makes money. That's where 𝐴𝐤𝐶 comes in. So 𝐴𝐤𝐶 will tell them, okay, what is deficient in their method of farming. So we have some expert who are members in our organization that goes to tell them, okay, to optimize your profit, this is what you should do. Okay. Number one. Number two is once a week, we have a market that you have access to, which is very important because why? They will have access and contact with all consumers that's on our list as members of 𝐴𝐤𝐶 or even public. Number three, we have started actually guaranteeing farmers that we will buy whatever they produce and market them. But of course, the price is variable depending on season and demand. But what is most important is, it may sound a bit funny or strange, we have decided to actually introduce a product called veggie basket. So farmers sometimes, if they grow 10 types of veggies due to nature, season, changing weather, some veggies do well, some don't. So what we have done is, among the members, we will say, okay, we have a list of veggie that we can supply you weekly, but we tell them what we can supply, not what they want to buy, because vegetables are vegetables actually. And what more if it's organic, it has all the goodness and the benefits, from organizing. So what we do is we buy from them, we find buyers that we supply twice a week or once a week. And we have a long list of items that they would consume. But let's say if they have 20 items, we can only supply 5. So for that week, we supply the 5 that has been on their master list. So that way, what we are doing is we guarantee the farmers that we will buy their product. Number 2 is, what we are doing now is we are selling the veggie basket in advance at a price, a fixed price. So that way, what we do is we guarantee the farmers that even in the event that they don't do well because they've been planting, for example, salad, and suddenly the weather is not good, it's not suitable, they decided to go for brinjal or yes. So what we do is, okay, you produce whatever you produce, and we will buy, and through our network we will market the product. So I do not know how they will enrich the farmers, but for sure they will not be in the situation where they are at a loss, with the change of the product that they decide to plant. So that is one of the ideal of 𝐴𝐤𝐶 actually. That's one of our strong points that attracted most small-time organic farmers to be members.
All right. Thank you very much for your sharing and explanation. Yeah, actually, we still have some questions, also for question for Greg, but unfortunately, the time is not enough for us to answer the questions. But yeah, we will have some more on the conference. So I'm so sorry for the participants who have questions but cannot answer today. I would love to
What's the time?
give the the opportunity for the team to share the program. Bu Tina.
Keseluruhannya atau ininya, Bu?
We can share the program for the
business.
𝐴𝐿𝐵 preview, and I think the participants can see all the program of our conference on the website.
Oke. Jadi ini sekilas aja ya teman-teman. Nanti kalau misalnya mau lebih jelasnya besok ya Bu Kenny ya, kita akan ada Zoom preview untuk sneak peek di setiap workshop. Kalau di bisnis ekonomi akan ada 3 pembicara untuk 3 hari. Jadi pertanyaan teman-teman tuh tadi ada yang nanya gimana caranya ubah dari konvensional ke asosiatif ekonomi, terus legal form, terus financingnya gimana, dividen itu insya Allah sih sudah terrangkum di sini semua gitu. Termasuk para penggiat pendidikan pun atau yang ada di organisasi yang outputnya adalah people, itu juga nanti akan disentuh oleh Mr. Greg untuk dibahas gitu bagaimana ininya. Nah ini main speaker kita ya Bu Kenny, Dr. 𝐸𝐬𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐬 akan ada sesinya juga, ditunggu aja. Kalau yang sudah mau langsung scan barcode-nya bisa langsung registrasinya di sini. Ini speakernya secara keseluruhan dari workshop-workshop yang ada dan art and practices apa yang akan mereka bicarakan itu besok kita ketemu lagi dengan Bu Kenny untuk kupas tuntas tentang 𝐻𝐤𝐬 gitu. Ini jadi selebritinya 𝐻𝐤𝐬 Bu Kenny Dewi sebagai koordinator panitianya. Jadi langsung bisa daftar ini di sini aku kasih waktu kalau ada yang mau langsung ngetik ya untuk bisa ikut semua besok gitu. Dan sebentar kok ini ternyata tidak ada di sini. Tanggal 2 Juli bentar ya. Di tanggal 2 Juli kita akan ada lagi dari workshop sebentar kok jadi hilang Bu Kenny, mohon maaf sebentar teman-teman, mana tadi ya? Tunggu aku download dulu deh. Jadi tanggal 2 Juli sambil aku bilang tanggal 2 Juli hari Rabu kita akan ada lagi sesi selanjutnya untuk workshop ekonomi bisnis itu dengan 𝐿𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐬. Beliau adalah sebentar ini ya. Kita tadi kayaknya udah aku download ya. Oke, udah di share screen ya. Oke. 2 Juli 𝐿𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐬 beliau adalah CEO, Chairman SEKEM Group dari Mesir. Jadi SEKEM ini dia holistik industrinya banyak, ada pendidikan, agriculture, farmasi, dan beberapa area lainnya, dan semua area itu terhubung secara holistik dijalankan oleh 𝐿𝐵𝐴𝐵𝐻𝐿𝐬 sebagai second generation-nya gitu. Helmi akan mengupas apa yang akan diomongin Helmi bisa diketahui besok sekilas, tapi lebih lanjutnya jangan lupa daftar di untuk tanggal Juli hari Rabu jam 2 siang waktu Indonesia bagian Barat. Itu aja sih Bu Kenny, atau ada tambahan?
Udah ya, saya kira cukup. Kalau ada yang mau mengetahui lebih lanjut mengenai teknis schedule dan lain sebagainya, bisa ikut Zoom besok ya. Jam berapa Bu?
Besok jam 7 juga ya. Betul jam 7 malam.
Oke.
sama seperti hari ini.
Oke. Ya, saya rasa sudah cukup kita hari ini. 𝐻𝐤𝐬𝐬 and Greg, we are so grateful to have you here and also on the conference next month. And that was a meaningful preview of what's to come from you both. And thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you all in the conference. But before I end this meeting, would you like to share the closing verse for us to close this event? The other one. Okay. A healthy social life is found only when, in the mirror of each soul, the whole community finds its reflection, and when, in the whole community, the virtue of each one is living. Thank you very much. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, 𝐻𝐤𝐬𝐬. See you next month. Good night.
Thank you all.
Good night. Thank you.
Terima kasih semuanya. Thank you, Mr. Greg, Mr. 𝐻𝐤𝐬𝐬.